Hi everybody. Today on the first 10 minutes, we'll actually look at the mechanics of healing with Soraka, and by mechanics I mean the physical dexterity you do. So let's get into it. So here I am on Soraka. I've had quite a few games recently where I was the last pick, so I am support, but that's okay because I played a lot of support last season, and support can be really interesting. But I got tired of playing Leona. Leona's real hot stuff right now, and although I've really enjoyed playing her in the past, it's kind of like, you know what, I want to do something different. And also, I was looking to do something more stable because Leona is all about getting kills, which is completely fun when you do it. But if you don't get any kills, then you have a little trouble. This was the enemy laners were Jinx and Lulu, so it was going to be a poke lane. And so I figured, I might as well get a sustain lane, and I'll heal up whenever they do damage. But also I just am interested in doing some Soraka. So there. So anyway, we're basically going along, hanging out, me and Vayne. So Soraka has a pretty high cooldown heal. It's like 20 seconds, I think. 18 seconds, and I have cooldown runes and cooldown masteries, so it's about 20 seconds, and then I have cooldown. So this is kind of funny. We have a first little bit of Soraka mechanics. So we get face checked, go there, I get hit, and I heal a minion. So the question is, why was I healing that minion? Because that minion hadn't taken any damage. And the answer is that I have my heal set on quick cast, right? And I have it set on a specific quick cast setting. It's quick cast / self cast. So if my mouse is over a valid target, like a minion, and I do my heal, I will cast my heal on whatever's under the target. If it's not on any target, because I have quick cast / self cast, then I will actually heal myself. So I actually thought my mouse was just hovering in space. I didn't realize it was over a minion. So I was trying to just heal myself, but I ended up healing a minion. So that brings up the challenge of smart cast / quick cast, which although it's a very, very nice setting, it requires a special approach for someone like a healer like Soraka. And that approach is that what you can actually do is you can, if you want to cast on yourself, you can actually cast on your portrait in the lower left. If you want to cast on an ally, you can actually cast on their portrait on the left. So like right there, although that looks like I cast it on Vayne, I actually hovered my mouse over the Vayne's portrait on the left of the screen to cast it. Okay, well, let's pause for a moment and let's look at what the actual mouse movements look like inside of the actual game interface, rather than a replay interface, because replay doesn't actually show what my mouse movements are like. So Malzahar is hurt. Instead of actually trying to hover over him and click it, I do have the quick cast set up. I go over and I hover over his portrait over on the left, and I cast it. And also say for my mana regeneration spell, I hover on the portrait on the left, and I click it. And so you basically spend a lot of your time with your attention focused on the left portraits during fights, or down on the mini-map trying to sort out where people are. So let's kind of pick it up a little bit here. We're kind of going along, and I'm basically continuously, you can kind of see how I kind of wander in weird ways. Like often with supports, you actually see the supports zigzag, which is what I like to do when I'm Leona. I zigzag right next to the carry, but in this case I'm kind of wandering all over the place. And that's because every time my spell is ready to cast, all my attention is focused on the left portrait bar, and I no longer pay attention to where I'm standing. I'm not saying that's good, I'm just saying it's a side effect, right? As this game, we actually have a, no. Do we have a gank here? No, we don't. We have a Udyr was doing some really good jungling. But anyway, so I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying it's something that I'm particularly learning. Even near the end of the game, I got into the habit of I saw someone was low on health. Right before I would cast my spell, I would set myself moving to the location I wanted to I go to, in the small little space. Then I would turn my attention to the left bar. Then I would hover. Then I would click. Then I'd get back, put my attention back because you kind of don't see what's going on in the middle of the screen when you're casting through the left bar. But it's really great because it doesn't require. You can really accidentally cast it on someone else if you're trying to click in the middle of a hectic fight, especially with someone like Vayne who's really able to move around a lot. But even just other champions, Udyr's fast. It's just the hitbox is kind of hard, to actually hit with your mouse. So I'm basically sitting here just healing through the left bar and regenerating mana. And I actually, at the end of the game, the Vayne was like Soraka MVP because I actually ended up doing really well despite my little subtle foo-bars that people didn't see or didn't comment on. And so we're just kind of getting into the fight and just keep healing Vayne. And we have a really good moment here. Oh, I was just also note I have a Summoner's Heal, and I didn't use my Summoner's Heal in that last fight, even though Vayne got really low. And that is actually because I just really didn't panic, right? Like, when in a fight, unless you have like a burst assassin, like a mid lane assassin, like Ari or Fizz or something like that, there is a certain amount of time it takes for them to burn down the hit point bar of your ally. And so I was just hold it on, because if I didn't have to use it, I didn't need to use it. I could just, as long as the fight continued long enough, I could basically get back to my heals. I have so much mana that I can just heal Vayne up, so that's what I was doing. And let's go up here a little bit. We'll speed up a little bit. There is a good gank coming. So Udyr is coming bottom. He sends us a little message saying he's coming. We're looking acting all innocent. And then we basically go all aggro. And Jinx actually goes aggro. And the thing is, this gank ultimately worked, and it worked really, really well. But this gank ultimately worked just because we were a sustain lane and they were a poke lane, right? Like, we couldn't quite get in to kill them. Like, I, as a healing support, I really don't have any crowd control. I really can't help Vayne get a kill, but Lulu doesn't have any sustain. Like, she can't heal Vayne. So, or excuse me, she can't heal Jinx. So the longer this lane went on, the lower and lower Jinx got. I mean, Jinx would have to have gone back and lose farm. And so we basically just outlasted her, and she stayed so long, low enough, Udyr came in, boom, popped her, and that was done. And so then we just kind of push it up. And you're going to see my epic use of my Summoner Heal here in a moment. I healed Udyr, but he wasn't going to die. So I'm basically placing my pink ward, and boom, Summoner Heal. I accidentally press it, so I didn't even use it. Oh well. I was even in this replay, I was like looking, I was like, when did I use my Summoner Heal? Because I was saving it. I didn't even notice I used it. I just accidentally clicked, so bad. But no one noticed. If you cast the Summoner's Heal in the forest without anyone around, does anyone notice? I think the answer is no. No one noticed. So, and here we have, near the end of this the 10 minutes, there's no math to be done this time. But you'll see, like, I now have 3 levels in my heal, and we are just invincible in our lane. We just cannot be poked down. I mean, even though my heal has a pretty long cooldown, even at this level, it's still 18 seconds. The cooldown doesn't shrink as I level up. It's like, it gives you armor buff too. So it's like Jinx and Lulu, because Lulu, a lot of her poke, her tricky poke, is that she shoots double auto attacks because there's a little auto attack from her fairy, and it's just the armor buff. They just can't touch us. So anyway, I hope the education on Soraka mechanics was helpful, and I will see you guys next time. If you liked the video, please like. If you really liked it, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the Rift.